The person and character of Jesus is at the very heart of the gospel message. Jesus said, "And this is life eternal, that they might know thee, the only true God, and Jesus Christ, whom thou hast sent." Satan knows this, and through the New Age movement has taught millions to trust in another Jesus and another Christ, Antichrist. The Apostle John writes, "Little children, it is the last time, and as ye have heard that Antichrist shall come, even now there are many Antichrists, by which we know that it is the last time." Antichrist will be the manifestation of Satan's desire to exalt himself above God. The Bible says that Antichrist opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sits in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life. Most researchers believe that the New Age movement, combined with the New World Order, will ultimately unite the world to serve and worship this man of sin. Many researchers believe that the time of Antichrist's appearing is nearer now than ever before, especially since the United Nations has launched a global effort to establish a one-world religion, as revealed by this CBN report.
Many liberal organizations, including the United Nations, are pursuing the development of a one-world religious organization. Today, on the United Nations' 55th anniversary, CBN News reporter Wendy Griffith takes a look at what's behind this push for a global religious voice.
After a while, the drums, chants, and prayers representing many of the world's leading religions all started to sound alike, somehow losing their flavor in a melting pot of spiritual soup. The first ever Millennium World Peace Summit of religious and spiritual leaders took place at the United Nations in August, and some believe it marked the first major step toward a movement to usher in a global spiritual body that may one day speak for all religions. Robert McGinnis with the Family Research Council says it appears the hidden agenda is to unite people under one religious organization so they will peacefully accept UN goals such as population control, abortion rights, and one world government.
Instead of all these different gods, maybe there's one God who manifests himself and revealed himself in different ways to different people. You know, what about that, huh?
CNN founder and billionaire Ted Turner was the honorary chair of the World Religion Summit. Turner, known for his critical views on biblical Christianity, promoted the New Age concept that there are many ways to heaven.
The thing that disturbed me is that my religious Christian sect was very intolerant, not intolerant of religious freedom for other people, but they thought that we were the only ones going to heaven.
While supporters of a global religious voice have come down hard on evangelical Christians who refuse to adopt their New Age agenda.
Although the URI says it is not a religion, critics say it does preach a theology that teaches acceptance and diversity among all faiths. Those who push for a global religious organization believe that all religions, while different on the surface, are each valid pathways to God.
The United Nations is a very interesting and complex body of networking, hundreds and hundreds of New Age groups that are networked together, the political activists that want to bring in merging of spiritual ideas. And we're warned in the Bible that what's going to happen in order for the world to elevate this one person who's going to be a world leader, our spiritual ideas have to merge to lift up this person who is going to get mankind to believe that he is the Christ, that he is the world leader. And the United Nations is a part of that conditioning process. The whole point of unifying spiritually is to globalize a sort of one world religion, to have the idea that through a united mind, through a like-minded mind consciousness, mankind can evolve to God consciousness.
But what is the influence for this mind consciousness, this united mind that will bring the world together? The Bible foretells of 10 kings that will one day rule the world, saying that these have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Researchers argue that the chief influence behind the United Nations is an organization known as the Theosophical Society, considered by some to be the most powerful occult organization in the modern world.
The Theosophical Society has had more influence on the United Nations than any other religious society, whether you would call it Christian or occult.
The House of Theosophy, as it is called, was founded by a woman known as Madame H.P. Blavatsky.
Madame Blavatsky was a mystic, and she had truly supernatural powers. She had a tremendous impact on people, and was able to recruit many of the world's leading people into her organization, people like Arthur Conan Doyle, who wrote the great stories about Sherlock Holmes. Thomas Edison was one of her disciples, as was William Stead, who was one of the four original members of the secret society Cecil Rhodes created, which became the Council on Foreign Relations. Many key people, in the 19th century joined Theosophy, as in the 20th century Margaret Sanger and Adolf Hitler were disciples of Theosophy, as are people like of Robert Mueller, who for many years was the Assistant Secretary General of the United Nations, because the major driving force behind the idea of the United Nations and world